Okay, so I'd like to improve on this program a little bit, specifically as far as the output goes. So we talked about, in the last video, we looped through the array of objects and just reached into those getters and printed the data. And you can recall that we printed each object like separately from the others. But what if I wanted this type of look here? Where the objects are displayed almost like records in a database or like in an Excel spreadsheet, like in rows and columns. We can do that, and this next technique that I'm going to introduce here is actually something that's coming up in a couple of weeks from now when we start talking about inheritance. We're going to be doing it a lot, which is why I feel like I should just throw it out there now, and we're just going to start getting comfortable with this. So let me comment this out. We're not going to print the data this way moving forward. So let's see. I'm just learning some of the shortcuts in IntelliJ. But if you do Control and the /, that'll comment out your code. And then if I want to get it back, I can do Control and the /, and it will get that back. Okay, so we'll pretend that's not there. And then in the product class, what we're going to do, the technique that we're going to do is we're going to override, I'll explain what I mean by this, override toString. Here's the thing. Every object comes with a method called toString, whether you realize it or not. Every object in the Java universe, whether it be objects, like arrays that already exist and we're just using them, or like the product object, it's like a homemade object that I am creating, even that comes with toString, okay, which I can use or ignore. You know what, let me show you something just to prove a point. I'm going to go to main, and I'm going to do a quick output, and I'm just going to grab the first one. This one is the pickle cotton candy, and I'm going to slap a toString on that, even though I haven't coded it yet, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so we got this kind of garbage number. That's the kind of value that you're going to get if you just take the default toString. But toString really is, it dictates how an object represents itself as a string. The fact that I haven't done anything with toString on my product class and I just accepted the default, well, the default is garbage, okay? So, but what we can do is we can override the default and say, hey, I have a better idea for toString for how a product will represent itself as a string. So that's what we're going to do. Just another quick little FYI. toString is the default method for any object. So if I don't, it was kind of redundant for me to put the toString on there. I do that, especially with students, because it helps to just see it there and you know what's happening. But you could just as easily have done this, and the result would be the same, because toString is implicitly called if you don't specify a method for an object. So anyway, I'm going to delete that. Let's go to product. We're going to override toString, okay? And I already have this typed out. Let me see here. There's another technique that I want to show you as well for getting the columns, getting everything in like columns with a specific width. Okay, so first thing I'll do is specify override, and then this is the syntax. Okay, public string with a capital S, toString. You're going to override toString a lot in this class, and you're always going to have at least that. And then you have to return a string, okay? And I am building the string instance member or instance field by instance field. Now I'm in the class, I'm in the product class, so I have direct access to product name, quantity, and all that, the price. I don't have to go through the getters. I'm here, I'm in the door. I have full access to the private data. But one thing I want to point out here is the way I'm constructing this string. This here, let me see if I can, I can't zoom in on that. I'd have to change the font size. I didn't think of this beforehand. But if you look at this, I'm using string.format. And this green part here, pay close attention to that. The only thing, look at, we have all the green parts. The only thing that differs is the number right here. I have negative 25. What does that mean? It means product name is going to be printed in a field width 25 characters wide, left aligned. Left aligned, the negative stands for the alignment. If you don't put anything there, it's right aligned by default. But I did a left align, so negative 25. It's going to be 25 characters wide, the product name, left aligned in that field, in that print field. And then I'm going to do the price. I am doing the format, the currency format thing in here. I did have, I don't even remember adding this myself. I think maybe IntelliJ added that for me. I hope so. But you do need the import if you're going to do the currency thing. So that's for the price. Now the price, this is the only part we care about. 10 characters wide on the price. Okay. Right aligned because I didn't put a negative there. Okay. 10 characters wide on the quantity. And then 10 characters wide on the perishable, which will be yes or no, the perishable status. I'm doing that same trick that we talked about in an earlier video. I don't want to display true or false to my user. I want to display yes or no. Okay. Now, where did I get these values? 25, 10, 10, 10. I just made them up. I'm eyeballing it, and I'm hoping that it looks good, and I might have to make changes. So this is going to return a string that will print an item in that formation. You know what? Let me just print one item first, and then I will, then I'll loop through them and print them all together. Okay, so let's do that again, what I had before. So we're going to do S out. I'm going to do products 0. That's the first one, the cotton candy. Now look, if I run it right now, we're going to see the result, the output, because toString is called implicitly if you don't specify. But like I said, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to be very explicit. So there it is. So let's run it. Okay, so you can see this pickle cotton candy, that is 25 characters right there if we were to count them all out. 25 characters left aligned. Okay, and then we have the, maybe it probably went about here or so. And then we dive into the price, which is 10 characters right aligned, about like so. And then the quantity in stock, 10 characters right aligned. And then the yes, no on the perishable, 10 characters. Okay, so with that in mind, with our toString in place, let's, you know what, maybe I'll do a for each loop. I could do a classic loop like I have here, but let's throw in a for each, nice and concise. So I have my array of products. I'm saying for each product, which I'm calling P, just get a little handle on the current object, P, in this case, in products, in that products array, I'm just going to zip through that and print. I'm just going to call the toString, and it's going to print itself. Let's run it. Okay, you see my toString at work. Printing each product like as a record in a data table or like in an Excel spreadsheet. I am also going to add some column headers. Let's do that. Now this is nice because the capability of a product to represent itself and print itself as a record, a line record or a line item, is contained in the class. I've added some nice functionality to the class. Now I have very little code in the actual main method here. Okay, so let me add some column headers. So before I print the actual data, I'm going to establish some column headers. Again, doing this thing with the format string, the format pattern. Again, you only ever have to worry about this part right before the S, and then decide your width, decide your alignment, negative for left aligned, leave it alone, nothing for right aligned. And yeah, so let me run that. Okay, it's looking okay. I think I would like more space here. So on the perishable, maybe I'll go up to 15 on the perishable, and then I have to change the toString as well. Let me get in here. So I'm going to go 15 on that, so that'll give me some space between those two column headers. Okay, so now it's looking really nice, I would say. Okay, another thing that you could do to make it look even better is, I just do something like this and just hard code like a like a long line of dashes there. Let's see. Okay, so you get the idea there. Okay. With an @ symbol and a capital O, you have to put that there.